I had heard in my childhood and which I very often remember. That quotation is, God, please grant me the serenity to accept that which I cannot change, the courage to change that which I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And why I'm saying this is because, today Baba is talking about predestined drama a lot. And Baba is also talking about effort, but both the things have to be understood very well. If we just think, effort is important, people say effort and faith can move mountains. Yes, of course, effort and faith can move mountains because it is there in the drama that mountains can be moved. But if something is not there in the drama, even if you make effort for it, it's not going to happen. So, Baba today says that you must understand that what is it that you make effort for and what is it that you accept. Yes, so Baba says that I have given you the whole knowledge of the drama, and in the knowledge of the drama we have understood that destruction has to happen. Yes, and only after destruction will there be celebration. So Satyug will come, and that is also prefixed. So that also has to happen. Just like destruction has to happen, the golden age also has to come because that's what's predestined in the drama. And Baba says that you must accept that which you cannot change. And Baba talks about being free from worry, being nishchint. And this being free from worry is a very interesting thing because to be free from worry, you need two things. You need acceptance and effort both. So, I once wrote an article about if you don't care enough, you will worry. So, if you don't take care, you will worry. And next thing is, if you keep resisting what is to be accepted, then also you will worry because there are some things which you cannot do anything about. And if you are worrying about them, then you will worry endlessly because that is where you have to accept. But if you don't accept and you start troubling yourself, then you can trouble yourself infinitely, but that's not going to change. So this is why, being free from worry is a very important subject, and in order to be free from worry, you have to accept that which you cannot change and also make effort for that which needs to be made effort for. Because if you don't do either of these, you will worry. So, Baba says that when you understand that this is Vinash Kal and it is, the destruction has to happen, and then you see the forces of destruction, you see what is to happen. So, you see that there are many things which are indicators of how we are slowly, gradually moving towards the scene of destruction. Whether you look at the pollution, whether you look at the state of the soul these days, you look at physical illnesses, you look at mental illnesses, you look at the situation of the world economically, and you look at disease, you look at other stuff, you look at the nature of natural calamities, you look at how war is breaking out. So Baba says, if you start worrying about these things, then you are not understanding that this has to happen in the drama. And if you start worrying about these things, you will worry endlessly, because this is a subject where you have to use your power of acceptance. And you see that I remember there was this one brother, and he was diagnosed with some illness of the body, and he came to me and he told me that, I have this illness and I'm the only son, and had I been four brothers, I would not have worried, but it's just me, and then I have this illness, and then who will fend for the family, and it's a difficult situation, and sister, there needs to be something done about it. So I said, you do about it. If there is something possible about it, you must do something about it. So he said, no, I have moved from pillar to post and I've tried everything and there's no cure for this illness. So I said, then you are not four brothers and this illness doesn't have a cure. Do you understand that? You have to accept this. But the thing is, he has been worrying about it for the last 5 years, and now the illness and the worry together have made life very miserable. So you see that there are some things which you have to accept. It's not like if you worry too much about it, it's going to change. So Baba says that, this is the time of destruction, and in this time of destruction, there are souls are powerless. The state of matter, the five elements, is in very bad shape, and if you don't understand this predestined drama, then you keep worrying about that which has to be accepted, and that has no end. You can constantly do that. And second thing Baba says is, what is the time and what you need to do has to also be understood. So Baba says, if you free yourself from worrying about that which you cannot change, then you can focus on what you really need to do. And these two things are interrelated. And Baba says that right now you are in Baba's lap. Baba is giving you Shrimat, and that Shrimat, if you follow, then you can create 21 births of inheritance for yourself, where you will go to a world where there is nothing to worry about, and it will be a world where you can be carefree, where there'll be no disease, no untimely death, no problems. And Baba says you have to focus on that aspect. You have to do what you're supposed to do. So, and Baba says for that you have to, so Baba gives us the knowledge of the drama, and Baba also gives us two very important tools, which is being soul conscious and being supreme soul conscious. So Baba says, I teach you that you are a soul, and if you become soul conscious, then you will be able to hold all this awareness in your intellect. You will be able to, your intellect will be able to function properly, because if you are not in soul consciousness, then you will get sucked into the drama of the world. So you see, there's a lot going on in and around you which you cannot do anything about, but if you are not soul conscious, you will nevertheless be sucked into it. So if you are not, so just understanding that this drama is predestined will not help. And I remember there was this one Mata, and her son had left her, and her son left the house, and that was the only son, and the Mata had lost her husband many years back, so that was the only son. And when he left the house, the Mata called me, and then she kept crying, and saying, but I know that drama is good, and it is drama, and drama is predestined. So I said, when you know so much, why are you crying? So she said, I don't know. I know it, but I'm still crying. So you see that one thing is knowing the drama, knowing the truth. And second thing is being able to put a full stop because you know that this is what is predestined and this has to happen. So when you say drama, okay, you have a tool. You, Baba has given the tool of drama to us. Baba has given us the shastra or astra of drama. But in order to use that shastra astra, you have to have the power of soul consciousness. So Baba says, until and unless you are able to detach yourself from the, from this idea that you are a body or you are what you have and you are what you do, if you can't detach yourself from that, then even if you have a very good understanding that this drama is predestined, you will not be able to put a full stop to your waste thoughts, which start with why and how is this possible. Yes, so you will not be able to protect yourself from feeling shocked or feeling sorrowful because you're not soul conscious. If you have to insulate yourself from the shocks and the sorrow that come with body consciousness, you have to build soul consciousness. And the second thing is being supreme soul conscious. So one thing is, when we are soul conscious, we can insulate ourselves from, whatever is the scene in the drama, or whoever is behaving the way they want to behave. You can insulate yourself from all of that if you are soul conscious. But until and unless you are supreme soul conscious, you cannot draw in power. And Baba gives us power, love, hope, faith, knowledge. And for all of that, Baba tells us what to do. Baba gives us the strength to do that. So Baba says you also have to have remembrance of Baba. You have to have this connection with Baba, because one thing is protecting yourself from not falling down, but second thing is going up. So if you have to rise, then you need Baba. You need to hold Baba's hand. And Baba says, if we pay attention to being soul conscious and to being supreme soul conscious, then we will be able to protect ourselves from the Kali Yugi scene, and also will be able to prepare ourselves for the next scene which is coming in drama, which is the scene of Satyug. And you see that the drama is pretty prefixed. So today Baba says that in Satyug and in Treta Yuga, there is no akalyan. So nothing happens which is not in your benefit, and there is no body consciousness also. Yes. So A, there is no untimely death. B, there is no body consciousness. So both these things are together. Now you see, sometimes people think that you are happy in Satyug because there is no reason to be unhappy. Yes, okay. So there is no reason to be unhappy because obviously, people are not dying at a young age, or they are not getting illness, or, people are not falling sick, or there is no natural calamity, or there are no problems of profit loss in Satyug. So obviously, you will be happy. So this is something that people say. But, happiness is connected to two things. One, favorable circumstances. B, body consciousness also. Because you see, if you are body conscious, even if all circumstances are favorable, you will find a reason to be unhappy. Yes, because in body consciousness, you are oriented to experience loss and unhappiness. So, have you seen people crying at their parents leaving at 90, 95, 100 also? So, there's this Mata, and her father died at 98, and the Mata was crying. So I said, did you think your father is going to live forever? So he is going to leave the body, right? So if not at 98, then when? When did you think it's a good time to leave his body? So she said, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around the death of my father. So I said, it's okay that you can't wrap your head around the death of your father, but let me tell you, this is not untimely death, and this is a very timely death, and he led a very graceful life, and now he left. So what are you crying for? Just for your body consciousness, right? So she said, yes, that's what, it's attachment and it's body consciousness. But the thing is, you're crying because of both. So it's not untimely death alone. When it's timely also, you're crying because it's body consciousness that makes you cry. So Baba says that in Satyug, both the things are not there. There is no akalyan, and akalyan is translated in the English Murli as inauspicious, but it's not inauspicious. It's akalyan means nothing is happening which doesn't look beneficial to you. So which looks not beneficial. So it's not, no scene in the drama makes you feel it should have been otherwise. So it's all accurate. So in Satyug, there is no akalyan and there is no body consciousness. From Dwapar Yug, there is akalyan and there is body consciousness both. So both are our problem. It's not that just body consciousness is the problem. Yes, there is a lot of akalyan also, when a child gets molested, or when there is untimely death, or when you see acts of anger and acts of ego and acts of lust, or you see what's going on in the world, you feel that these things shouldn't be happening, but these things are happening, and that's one reason for sorrow. But coupled with that, the reason is we are body conscious also. And even if everything is going fine also, I might say that everything is going well for you. You just have this one little problem and you're crying infinitely about it. But then you will say, no, this is my problem and I think this is a big problem. So there is body consciousness and there is akalyan. And Baba says, now how do you move from this state to a state where there is no body consciousness, no akalyan? So Baba says, now you have to use the tool that this is the drama and it is prefixed. So when you say prefixed, you say it is neither good nor bad, it is what it is. So Baba says, whenever you see a scene, how do you shift from this big vicious cycle which we are caught up in, that there is a kalyan and there is body consciousness, and when there is body consciousness, you are inviting more akalyan. Yes, because you're being sorrowful, so you're creating a sorrowful world more and more. So it's a vicious cycle. So yes, there are reasons to be sorrowful, but then if you are sorrowful, then you will create a more sorrowful world. So right now we are in a vicious cycle, caught up. And how do we move from here to there, where there is no akalyan and no body consciousness? So Baba says, first thing you say, when you see any scene, you stop using this language, this is good, this is bad, or this is beneficial, this is not beneficial. You start thinking and speaking this language, not just speaking, but also thinking this language, that everything is beneficial and it is neither good nor bad, it is what it is. So this is the language you start thinking in and speaking. And second thing is, you start becoming soul conscious, where you understand that I with Baba am fine. So, even if things are happening with the body or things are happening around me, it's okay, because I'm neither the body nor I am what I have and what I do. I am a soul and Baba is with me, and in Baba's remembrance I am okay. So Baba says, start doing these two things. Start living your life in Baba's remembrance and with Baba's powers and in Baba's canopy, and become soul conscious. And when you see any scene, just put a full stop to thinking about it by knowing that it is what it is and it is pretty prefixed. And when you start doing that, and apart from that, when you start following Shrimat, so, one is you're okay, but next thing is karma also. So, when you start acting on Shrimat, when you start using your body, mind, and wealth for self progress and for spiritual benefit of all the souls in the world, then you will be able to reverse this cycle, and you will be able to come out of this vicious cycle of akalyan and body consciousness and go to that virtuous cycle of kalyan and soul consciousness. So this is how we do it. So you see, Baba is teaching us such interesting and important spiritual matters, and Baba says, in body consciousness you will cry. So you may have a lot of things not going your way, but if you become soul conscious and remember Baba, you will be able to stop yourself from crying, because you will be able to understand that yes, there is a loss, but it's not my loss, because I am a soul. I come alone, I go alone, and you will be able to come to that place where you know that it is happening, but it is not happening to me, because I am a soul. So, when you think I am a body, you think this is happening to me because I am the body. But when you understand that I am a soul, you understand it is happening, but it is not happening to me, because I am not a body, I am a soul. And I, the soul, am separate, and all my needs are coming from Baba. So I will be able to not be affected or not come into sorrow in the old world. So Baba says, don't cry. So at this time, Baba says, no use crying, because it is a world of sorrow and many things will happen, but you protect yourself by being soul conscious. So this is the shift that Baba is asking us to bring. And then Baba says that I have come and you are living in this new community where you are under the canopy of the Father. So this is not a religion, this is not an organization. Maybe it has an organizational structure, but it is not just an organization. This is a family. And Baba says, you have come to this family where you are in the canopy of the eternal Mother and Father. So just stay in that awareness of this eternal family, this Mother and Father. And just like you see that when a child is born, then the child immediately, as the child is born, what is the first thing they say? They say, that Varis has come. Varis means the one who has to inherit everything has come. So Baba says, as soon as a child is born, he becomes the person who is entitled to the inheritance. And Baba says, you are also born. This is your new birth, and you're born to me. And now you must have the intoxication that I am the one who is going to inherit from the eternal Mother and Father. So Baba says this is your key to Jivan Mukti. So as soon as you become soul conscious, detach yourself from the old world, from the influence of the old world. You live in the old world, operate in the old world, but you detach yourself from the influence of the old world and become conscious of this new birth where you are in the lap of parents. That is the time you become Jivan Mukt. That is, you even in this Sangam Yug, you will become absolutely free from any pain, sorrow, anything that comes because when you're body conscious. So all those negative feelings, all those emotions which make you uncomfortable will just go away and you will be in Jivan Mukti. So Baba says this is the secret to second mein Jivan Mukti. So do you understand that? Have you heard that story of Raja Janak? And in that story, it is said that Raja Janak was once asked. So Raja Janak was Jivan Mukt, and there is this story where Raja Janak asked everybody to give him a formula for Jivan Mukti. How do you become Jivan Mukt? And he said that I want a formula to be such that you can be Jivan Mukt in 1 second. So then many people came up with many suggestions, but there was this learned person who was Ashtavakra, and when Ashtavakra came, he said that okay, I will give you the formula for Jivan Mukti, but what will you give me in return? So Raja Janak said that, okay, I will give you my, half of my property. So he said, that's not yours, that belongs to the praja. So how can you give what doesn't belong to you? Give me something that is yours. So he said, what can I give you which is mine? So then Ashtavakra says that, can you give me your mind? So he said, okay, if you want that, I'll give that to you. So he said, now that your mind is mine, your mind will follow my orders. So I ask your mind to always think about me. So then you will not think about anything else. So you will be free from those thoughts and feelings that used to bother you. So this is the feeling, this is the formula that is called the formula for Jivan Mukti. And that formula is called Man Manabhav. So mujhse man lagao. So give your mind to me. So Baba says, I am giving you this formula for Man Manabhav, that now you forget that this is mine and that is mine, and only Baba is mine, and give your man buddhi to Baba, and because Baba is the ocean of happiness, your man buddhi will always be filled with happiness. So this is the formula for Jivan Mukti that Baba gives us. And then Baba tells us that I ask you to share this knowledge with everybody, but don't share it like a parrot. So, so you know what a parrot does? You teach the parrot and the parrot will just speak what he is taught, but there is no sync between the words and the actions of the parrot. Yes, maybe if you, there's this story that the parrot was taught that don't sit on the tap, nalke par mat baithna. So, the parrot was taught to tell everybody that don't sit on the tap. And then he was sitting on the tap and saying, don't sit on the tap. So that's what the parrot does. So the parrot says something and does the complete opposite. So Baba says, you have to imbibe what I'm telling you and then tell it to others. If you don't imbibe, let's say you are telling everybody that, there are 3 worlds and then we have had a journey of 84 births, and you're very body conscious. You are not in the Trikaldarshi stage. your vision, your attitude is very limited, then that soul will also not be able to be transposed into that Trikaldarshi stage. So, if you act every second in the awareness of who I was and what I want to be, and you are able to let what's happening in the moment not affect you, but you are able to make very deliberate and conscious decisions in the moment, keeping in mind who you want to be, not what's happening right now. Only then, when you operate in this Trikaldarshi stage, you're worried about what this act that you perform in this second, how it is going to impact your future kingdom. If you are that, if you're that conscious in your actions, only then when you tell somebody that we have come from a long journey of 84 births and now our kingdom is coming and we have to act accordingly, it will strike the heart of that person, because that's what you are holding in your awareness and you're living by and then saying. But if you are not in Trikaldarshi stage and you're getting affected by every word, every scene that's happening around you, and you tell somebody that we are going to be a deity, that person will also take it just like you. Just know it but do nothing about it. So Baba says, don't be a parrot, imbibe what I'm telling you and then do it. And you see that I remember, there was this when I started going to the center, then there was this one child who used to come to the center, little child. He was, I think, 13, 14 years old. And what he would do is, he would just leave the tap open. So, whenever he drank water or used the tap, he would leave it open. And there was this Didi in the center, and every time he left the tap open, she would just say, go brother, just close the tap, very lovingly. And I was, at that time, I didn't have any gyan. So I once told Didi, why don't you shout at him? He wastes water, and this is wastage and that's not okay. And you must tell him very strictly, you're very loving to him. So she said that, he is a soul, and what he's wasting is water, just water. But if I shouted at him, I would be wasting that soul. So she said that, I'm asking him not to do it, and I'm doing it with love, because I'm interested in saving the water, and I'm also interested that, this soul should get that love from Baba, through which they recognize Baba and belong to Baba. And you see, that brother is now, I think, 25, 26-year-old, and he works, he is doing a job and he's well settled, and he takes care of the center in a big way. So he invests his body, mind and wealth, everything in seva. So that is being Trikaldarshi. So, whatever is happening in the moment is not a big deal. It's okay. You will deal with it. You will respond to it. But don't forget that the one who is in front of you is a soul. And don't forget what you want them to be. And don't let what they're doing in the moment affect you so much that you sabotage what you want them to be. So you see that because we met these souls and we came into their contact, so we also learnt by, and just like Baba says, if you're not a parrot and you are holding that awareness in that spiritual awareness is there, then when you come into action, you will inspire others also, because that arrow will strike them in the right place. So this is what Baba is telling us. imbibe the knowledge of the soul, imbibe the knowledge of the Supreme Soul. When you live worry free, carefree, and you have this, deep realization that I'm sitting in Baba's lap, and in that happiness, in that contentment, you speak the knowledge of the Supreme Soul Shiv Baba's descent to another person, then they will also get it that yes, this contentment, this happiness that this person is experiencing is true, and that's why they will believe that yes, God has come from the soul world and you're learning from the best. Okay, Om Shanti.